welcome to my YouTube channel again. I know I've not been consistent in putting out content. I think the last video that I got probably gave you guys many questions to ask, and thank you so much for those who reached out even on the comment section to encourage me during this season. It's pretty much all over the place and ningumo ningumo, and you don't know what to do. And the thing with YouTube that I'm coming to realize is you as a your it's like when you're kusema, everything depends on you. It's not like a TV production where there's someone else who can come in and stand in for you when you're having a hard time. So everything is solely dependent on you, and I actually do understand why sometimes when you watch some YouTubers and they tell you they need a mental break, you get to understand why they do that. So yeah, I don't know how this video is going to turn out. I don't know where I should pick things from, considering the last video was random and all over the sea. The setting is completely different. We moved thank God. Yeah, I can say like during this season I can pick a few things that are a plus, despite the year being confusing all over the place. And I think the one thing I can say 2020 has been is transformative. No one can say that they live 2020 the same way they entered, or the same way like waliamkia 2020 venye ilikuwa. And yeah, as you can see, I found myself like a small Canuck. I've always wanted this kind of vibe where like the window is extending and then you can make pillows and just have your own safe space. And I can say that's a little bit of like an answered prayer. Yeah, so God is still working, He's still moving, there's still miracles happening. There's an abundance of insight, wisdom, knowledge that we are learning, like for the tough situations. I think for me, the one mantra in life that keeps me going is the tough situations are meant to teach you lessons, and then the good ones are for you to rejoice, be happy, be grateful, be thankful. So maybe you can take that and encourage yourself as well. Before I start rambling and going on and on, because I know I can, where was I? So how I got out of quarantine. I think that's the one thing that I would love to finish and not leave you guys hanging. So day 15, I was already exhausted being in that place, cooped up, you're complaining and there's nothing that's happening. And the situation in terms of how you're living, mko high school, and that's sort of difficult considering, hey, you're telling me you've taken me from my home, my comfort, where I can literally nitatengeneza chai for a plethora amount of times. Like I can do soup if I want, I can, you know, like there's a comfort you have ukiwa home, and then uko in place enye mnakula na masaa, and it's literally like 3 meals a day, chai ni twice a day, and me and tea, we have a problem. Like I need tea. I love tea. And here you are, and this place is freaking cold, and it's not like my bed at home, and in fact even exposing me to much more getting like asthmatic attacks and whatnot. So here I am strategizing on how to escape. The first thing I did was scout the area just in case kumeumana. I was literally on the edge, and I was like, if push comes to shove, panzeme, I don't care, at a business ahepa. Acha venye tulikuwa tuna watch news sasa kiruka like walls za your place naitwaje, I'm forgetting this hospital, Mbagathi, like whichever you got to watch. I actually get why they would do that, and the desperation that those people had for you to figure a place you want to escape, and you're like, nimbaya. And even in battle, you're told the worst person to fight with is the person that they feel like they have nothing to lose. That's a very dangerous human being, because hakuna kitu tunawashtua, and more or less that's kind of like the mentality terrorists have. But let me not digress onto them. So here I am. I hear from like just how like you back to listening to stories, because there's nothing else you have to do with your time. It's just you listen. So nikasikia tu story to fununu, sijui kuna CS wa health anakam sijui nini. So I'm there like, if kama anakam na kuna press briefing ina happen base, then maybe nikiraliwa say hey hadi nilikuwa naanza kujifunza kuwa politician. Yeah, nile unachocha wase wachocheke, and then mkos fracas, mkos riot, na mnajua juu, because journalist, anywhere there's drama, there's news. Like with drama comes news, and they would literally want to take a video or to interview you guys. So there I am, and then I decided, let me go talk to these doctors, see if truly they can offer a way out. So I'm there, I go talk to them, and I'm like trying to, unajua PR, yeah, maneno unawapaka mafuta vizuri mate wapakike ndio you kind of see if kama mnaweza saidiana. You try and show them we're on the same page, like I feel you, my brothers, you guys are not getting paid and you're literally like putting your life, your family at risk. I get you, I feel you, same here, I'm on your team, you know. So there I am, I'm asking them like how their work is, the challenges that are there. Then I kind of asked them, okay, so now because we were tested like 14 days ago, how comes our results are now being taken and you guys are not giving us any information? Sasa tunaweza saidiana aje? Tuweza saidiana aje? Mimi kama patient wenu na nyinyi kama daktari tuweza saidiana aje ndio hii situation itoke? Maana najua hata nyinyi mnachoka kushinda huku na sisi. So they're telling us mimi unajua sijui Kenya venye iko, sijui protocols zenye zinafaa kufuata. I'm like, but there is a directive from the government, like people who are in quarantine are supposed to stay here like for 10-14 days at most, and then if they don't exhibit any symptoms they're supposed to go home. And they're like, but you know Kenya. And then one of them made a snarty comment like, you know, you can decide usome, you become somebody in this nation and be able to turn it around. That statement struck a chord. I won't lie. It's one of the situations where you decide, oh yeah, I'm putting my Christianity aside. Like, what? And so you kuangalia akikwambia hiyo comment and akusays like, with him say, how dare you? And then I look at her, I'm like, you know, that's why I went to school and I got a degree and I studied law and I became an advocate. And she was like, and then akakaka kaniangalia kaniambia, okay sawa basi. Sasa hata ukitaka sasa enda huko ujaribu uambie watu msumbuane ndio mcause drama, watu wa media wakuje waulize. Sasa hivyo ndivyo watu wenyewe walikuwa huko before nyinyi walifanya. I was like, thank you so much for giving me such an amazing idea that I had already thought about. So here I go, I start rallying people. Lawa chocha na najaribu kuchocha wase, naambia watu, you know, this is the one opportunity that we have right now. Kwa sababu watu wa media inamaanisha Kenya mzima itajua na tutalia tutasikika by fire by force. Na nile karibu tu ukuotile scripture inasema and the kingdom of God suffers violence and the violence shall take it by force. So I'm there, but guys are like, they're so distraught, they're so tired. You have mothers with kids there when you're wananyonyesha, and you can imagine how frustrated they are. The men themselves, they're even frustrated, and I think that's why I think it's so prudent for mental issues to do with men, they need to be addressed, because most men, when they're tired or frustrated with something, they keep quiet. That's how they process something. They shut down and they keep quiet. No one was coming through. So what does Rose do? Here I go. I strategically place myself near the parking lot where all the cars for all the dignitaries and, you know, the PAs, the media personalities, where they'd come and park their cars, and I sat there for a while until everyone would come in. And the minute they get out, if I see someone who has a camera, I'm like, hi, are you like a journalist, and can you help me? And I tell them, my name is so and so, here on quarantine, we've been here for this and this amount of days, we were tested like 14 days ago, we've not been given our results, these people are not telling us anything and they don't want us to go home, and we're wondering, Kwani, what has the government directive change or what is happening, and if you can highlight the same and for you to be able to help us to go home. So I do that, and there are like 3 of them that were able to ask me, are you willing to go on record and on the same? And I was like, yeah, sure, I don't mind. They take my details. Unknown to me, later in the evening, the people who would come and serve us food would tell us, but then you guys are going home tomorrow. And I'm like, it's how now? Aji sasa. And they tell us ati watu wa media wameuliza like PS hizi maswali kuhusu nyinyi venye mmekaa hapa for so long na mmetestia mjapata results zenu, and that's how they were given like a command now that we need to go home. All of us need to go home and vacate those premises, and that's how we ended up coming. That's how you all get things done. But anyway, let me not at a CG chochi sana. But it was so amazing, because after that, some of the people who were there, they would come and be like, thank you for what you did, because now we can go home. You have situations of people who their houses are being locked out because you've been away for like an entire month. Landlord doesn't care. You'll still have to pay your rent. You still have to pay your dues. If you're working in the private sector, there's some bosses, they don't care about what it is that you're going through. You still have to deliver on that deadline. Kama ulikuwa umeomba ruhusa and you need to be at work, you need to be at work, because people are being fired left, right, and center from the private sector. So yeah, and to me it was, I think what I learned from that situation was, every one of us, we have something that we can offer people, and the very existence that I still hold dear is that I'm existing to be a solution to someone else. It's not that I'm being prideful or now I'm like that, like thumping my chest, even though it was a woof kind of a moment, like yes. And I was so scared while I was doing it, but I did it anyway. Don't be afraid, even if it means you'll be alone doing it. Do it. Even if it means no one will be with you. Whatever area God has called you to be in, whatever sphere of influence He's placed you to be in, don't even look at who's next to you doing whatever. You are on your own lane. Stick to your own lane. Put in the work. Hata kama kutakuwa na naysayers, hata kama kutakuwa na watu wenye discouraged, watakudiscourage, hata kama kutakuwa na watu they've tried to do the exact same thing that you're trying to do and nothing worked for them, just keep pushing. Because you never know. You never know. And I'm a big fan of watching videos for like taken by older people who are in their 80s, 90s and whatnot. And I love watching them in terms of the advice that they give to us young people. And one thing I've taken from what it is that they tell us, like the common denominator of the advice is, when you're young and you have the time, whatever is in your heart that you want to do it. Heri ujaribu ikose kuingiana, na hata kama itakosa kuingiana, it's like you being taught, or this is how not to do it. Take the failure as a lesson in terms of how to tweak and tinker with a few things until you get a rhythm of how to do something. Even when we were learning how to walk as toddlers, we were falling so many times. Even when we were learning how to ride a bike, we were falling so many times. Ukikumbuka ukienda like preschool and you're being taught how to pronounce things, abcd, like hizo shenanigans, squeeze hata sijui vile wanafunzanga watu. We would flop all the time, but we never gave up. We were curious in wanting to learn and grow and be better. Don't be afraid to step out. The first step is scary, but don't be afraid to step out. And I do hope like that encourages you. That story, I don't think I will ever forget it ever. Nizile zenye naambia Mungu, for when I will write my book, thank you for giving me content. Even though when I'm going through it is not something that I would love, it's still content and it will encourage somewhere. So yeah, and I hope you do like this video. I do pray it doesn't end up being so long enough. And stay encouraged and have a nice week. Bye.